Hey there again. There's a lot of appointments I need to get to. Had to go to the docks yesterday to go and check up myself, which thankfully good news. There's no news, everything's good and fine with me. I have a nose piercing appointment today. A little promise I did with my friend Kim, so we're gonna get that done. You're gonna see a little bit of that, and yeah, let's get to it.
Handsome man, love it.
Was gonna take transit to the piercing place, but yeah, I'm gonna be late for my appointment if I do so. So Uber it is, I guess. Expensive mistakes. Should have left earlier. Hey, we're back from everything, and yeah, it's a new day. I didn't really shoot after the nose appointment, but that's alright. This is the end result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it a yay or nay? I mean, I got it already. I'm not gonna take it out, so. But I'm just curious whether you think it suits the look. Other than that, I'm gonna talk about two of the photoshoot projects, because originally when I was planning my online portfolio and the photo shoots to do for it, I originally only planned for two. The third one was more spontaneous when I was planning with the models who are my friends, and it was a quick suggestion from my friend Colby, and yeah, that's how I came up with the third photo shoot, which just so happens to perfectly fit within there is a certain kind of base concept that that I came up with these photo shoots, and yeah, his spontaneous suggestion just so happened to fit right into it. So basically, because a lot of people who are gonna hire me, or a lot of companies that I'm gonna reach out to, are not gonna be able to talk to me personally, and the only thing they're able to get from me online is my resume and my online portfolio. So obviously your resume shows your credentials and everything, however it doesn't really show much of who the person is. So thankfully in the creative industry we have online portfolios which could showcase that a lot more. So with my online portfolio, I wanted to show all the things that make me me, which definitely took a while for me to discover and all. So the photo shoots that I came up with, not only was it more emphasis on fashion itself, however, it was also more of a reflection on my journey into fashion and how I improved. It also reflected me in a way as a creative and a person, because it showcased the specific types of fashion styles that I'm interested in and that I love to wear. So let's start up with the first photo shoot, which was inspired by Japanese minimalistic clothing. Let's get to it. So, the first project is inspired by Japanese minimalistic clothing. How I was introduced to it was basically through Muji and Uniqlo many years ago. The reason why I got introduced to Uniqlo or Muji in the first place, well, more so to do with Uniqlo. Well, more so with Uniqlo is because Uniqlo does provide really cheap and really good clothing. When you're a broke student, you want good but cheap stuff, and if there's a place that offers good and cheap clothing, definitely you're going to get it. That's Uniqlo. Through Uniqlo and the combination of Pinterest and friends who are into fashion and my Japanese friends, and visiting Japan after that, like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and just seeing how the people dress around there, this is how I got formally introduced and really fell in love with Japanese minimalistic clothing. Now, what do I mean by Japanese minimalistic clothing? I don't only mean the standard plain color shirt and plain color pants. I mean, it could be streetwear, or it could be smart casual, it could be baggy, it could be nice fitting, or it could be tight. Well, rarely it's ever tight. However, it's just the idea of really nice, flowy clothing that has plain colors, not a lot of patterns or designs or additional add-ons. Not the same aesthetic as some of the Y2K stuff where you see them wearing like the tighter tops with the plain black bottoms or plain colored bottoms essentially, but it's really baggy bottoms. This is just more of just very flowy clothing in general. So from there, when I was researching on how to get into fashion, with my angle being to work for a high fashion brand, I chanced upon Yohji Yamamoto, one of the most famous designers in our era, and that's where it led me to fall in love with his idea of all black, very simple colors, a lot of emphasis on the clothing and the fabric itself, the mystery behind the person's body, behind the clothing, and how that gives an idea of what, sexy is, or the beauty of mystery. A lot of emphasis on cutting and fabric. I might have got that wrong. I'm not an expert on Yohji Yamamoto or his design principles and everything. However, if any of you are experts on Yohji Yamamoto who are watching, I do apologize. I will do my research more. However, this is more so to do with referencing photo shoots and video shoots and his ready-to-wear line and taking inspiration from that to create my own fashion photo shoot. So as I previously mentioned, for this photo shoot, most of my inspiration came from Yohji Yamamoto and Japanese minimalistic clothing. And that is where I took a lot of my references for outfits, compositions, color palettes, location, and even just how to compose the models and the backdrop together with the clothing for this project. So through this research, I created this document, as you can see, where I list down locations to the composition to what color palettes, what the outfits roughly are gonna look like, so that it was easier for the models to know what they're getting into, and when we go to do the photo shoot, it will be efficient and fast. And I'm a huge proponent for good planning and quick execution to get the best results. This is also so that both models and me as a photographer don't waste as much time. Or I wouldn't say waste time, however, it's more of we just make the most out of the time that we're out there. As sometimes these outdoor photo shoots, the weather obviously cannot be predicted, and it gets very, very draining depending if it's hot or it's cold. So that is the basic concept of my first photo shoot, which is to show my journey into fashion and my first introduction to my first fashion style that I fell in love with for years and years and years, and up to today I still love that kind of style and draw a lot of inspiration from Japanese minimalistic clothing and Yohji Yamamoto's clothing line or his Y3 line. Alright, on to the next photo shoot idea. Oh, this is kind of an interesting angle. Pull you through. Much better. So for project 2, high fashion. High fashion is something that I was always very intrigued by, always wanted to work for. It's always been a dream just to work for certain brands such as Chanel, or Gucci, or Dior. So to show that I'm able to work with these companies, or able to do shoots for these companies, that's why I came up with this photo shoot. So while my budget's not there, and I'm unable to get actual Chanel or Gucci product, I wanted to showcase my resourcefulness through being able to use thrifted clothing and make it look like high fashion. Also through the location and the models and the poses and just everything combined together, that I was able to direct and shoot a high fashion photo shoot even with a very low budget. That was the main idea of the photo shoot. It's the main skill sets that I wanted to show. My resourcefulness and my creative thought process and my understanding of the brand. I wanted to be able to show that I could reflect and represent what the brands were, and just my creativity in general as a creative to problem solve certain hurdles, obstacles, and problems that I faced in this photo shoot. But with whatever limited resources I have, I wanted to show that I'm able to execute this, make it look as close as to what you would see on a Vogue magazine cover as possible. So for this photo shoot, did create a document too with location, compositions, outfits, makeup inspirations, how the hair is supposed to be done, and both for outdoor and indoor photo shoots, what the backdrop and the background and what possible props might be needed, to plan it as well as possible so that the whole process would be as smooth and efficient. However, the outfit selection for this photo shoot was a lot harder in comparison to the first project, because high fashion was something I never really touched on till like 2 years ago, and I tried to dive deeper into it. However, high fashion is something that I never really touched on till 1-2 years ago, as I felt it was always out of my reach.
What the fuck?
However, as I'm more serious about working in the fashion industry now, and I'm very certain that I want to work for these brands, I decided to just dive into it and just do it anyways, just to see where it gets us. So for the outfit selection, a lot of the inspiration was taken on trademark looks that Chanel and Gucci had, how they did their photo shoots, how did they present their items, what little details they had to really showcase that this is Gucci or this is Chanel, such as the tweeted wear for Chanel. Based on what I had and what the models had, we figured something out. By the end of this photo shoot, the results I achieved, well, I honestly was really happy with it, so I guess we could say it worked out. So while I would want to talk more about the third project, I'm not going to sit here and just drone on and on again. Here's a little trailer of how I make all these projects happen. And here are some of the results from the photo shoots. I'm quite happy with how they turned out, especially with the way the colors flowed together, how the fabric and the environment kind of matched with each other. Honestly, it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Everything from the concepts to the outfits to the backdrop all matched and flowed so freaking well that, well, to me at least, I felt it was super on point. Anyways, so thank you so much for watching this video of the behind the scenes of how a freelance creative, or at least how I create my photos and videos, and what's the process that goes behind it. Hopefully this video helped you out there. If you are a creative out there trying to figure out what's the process behind creating photos and videos that are unique to you, hopefully this video helped you out. And if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
How do you build so fast?
I've been feeling like I gotta